I'm going to take Becky's words. I feel wildly unqualified to share 50 years of marriage. So I do have a cheat sheet, and bear with me. I think all of you know by now, Bill and Anne Harshman have been married since August of 1969. And I know it's ridiculous. I can't even imagine being alive that long. Since I am as your fourth child, there's no way I could possibly fathom that.
I'm number 1 and I'm 29.
So I wanted to just start with an anecdote. Some of you may know this. Some of you may have known them during this time frame. But Bill Harshman and Anna Marie Sinkovich met in Butler, Pennsylvania, when our dad was working an internship for the Butler County Extension Office, and he had rented a little room from a lady in town, and had, by both of their accounts, become adept at finding the best deals for eating out 3 meals a day during that summer. Meanwhile, my mom had started working at the counter of a walk-up Dairy Queen, where a handsome young man had started to come each day to order a 15-cent chocolate, ma'am.
You can't get them now for $2.95.
Family legend is strong here, and I am led to believe first that my mom had the other girls at Dairy Queen trained so that when this gentleman pulled up, they knew that was her customer. And they all knew and second, that they never really spoke beyond him ordering the ice cream until the next summer at the county fair, when she was riding herd on her younger siblings, and a gentleman started driving through a crowded field of people, and she thought, what kind of a jerk drives through a crowd of people? And here he comes, the gentleman from the Dairy Queen, and pulls up with his now famous line, "You never did tell me your name." He wrote her phone number in the dust on his dashboard, and the rest, as they say, is history. Obviously, we are forever indebted to this history as the founders of our family. I am a numbers girl, so I want you to know that we've tallied it up, and today we celebrate 18,263 days of wedded bliss. Of raising 5 children together, and I would be remiss if I didn't say burying one of them far too soon. Of welcoming 4 children-in-law, 4 grandchildren, and numerous grand pets. They've owned 2 homes, and I also can't believe this, they've had the same phone number since 1982. They have visited many countries together, in national parks, and taken cruises. They have witnessed 10 U.S. presidents in action. I will keep all of my commentary beyond that myself. Okay, 9. Yeah, that said 10. They have shared triumphs and tragedies and are strong enough and comfortable enough in their love to tell you that it's good and it's hard and it's beautiful. Ever since I was a small child, they've shared a special greeting on every card, on every holiday, and I didn't know when I jotted these notes down that it would be inscribed on the cake today as well. They always put on their cards, SGWM, so glad we met. So I've seen them vacation together, dance together, cry together, and take care of one another through a lot of good and hard days. I hope that none of you would be surprised to know that we all believe this to be a shining example and otherwise, lots of bad examples out there. So we're glad we have your example to guide us. My dad has told me for years that the toughest steel is quenched in the hottest flame. And Mom, you're the first and last person I turn to when I need a classy way to say something difficult. You are both wise and I would say as loving as we could have hoped to have as the leaders of our family. I think I speak for all of us when I tell you that we've been truly blessed by your example. It has been said that true love doesn't happen right away. It's an ever-growing process. It develops after you've gone through many ups and downs, when you've suffered together, cried together, and laughed together. I ask that you would all please join me, raise your glass to honor what Bill and Anne Harshman have achieved through 50 years of devotion and showing up. And in honor of the many trips you have taken together, I would say cheers, twoje zdrowia, salud, Liana, hurrah.
nominated because she's the talker of the family.
I was gonna say wildly unqualified left foot. Thank you, Rachel. I'd like to ask my mom to say a couple of bubbly words. I'm sure you noticed on the invitations, my parents, when we put this together, said they did not want gifts. They wanted to challenge kind of themselves, and I guess the rest of us, to give to others, which is certainly keeping in the spirit of who they are. And so I have invited my mom to speak for a couple of minutes about the organization that they are working with, Food for the Poor, in gifting.
Well, I don't know about a couple minutes, but I'm just going to say, we learned about Food for the Poor a few years ago through our church, and they do some really good work, mostly in Central and South America, and they help with water issues and housing issues as well as food for the impoverished. So if you were able to help build a house, that would be great, and I appreciate your help.
Awesome, thank you. I've gotten an email every time someone's made a donation, and we're more than, I think, a third of the way toward the house.
Wow.
My parents have committed to building the rest of the house, so
We will.
they will. But it's not too late to make a contribution if you're able to. The man in the tuxedo shirt, before he, wait, before you do that, you were going to do some introductions, Senor Harshman. You have a lot of people here from a lot of different realms of your life. It makes me nervous when all the different parts of my life are in the same room. I'm exciting nervous. But can you tell us a little bit about who are the parts of your life who are in this room?
Thanks, Becky. Well, first of all, I better say the parts in this room that really should stand up and all of you can see who they are as our children. So you've heard Becky and you've heard Rachel and Jason, where are you? And Sarah, these are our offspring. And we're celebrating 50 years as of yesterday, but Sarah and Drew, where's Drew, the latest member of our family down here? Our other sons-in-law, Brandon back here, and Joe, filming also. And some of these folks were in I'm sorry, daughter-in-law, Sarah. I missed her only because the others that joined our family came from like small families, and they found a shock growing into the Harshman tribe, and there's family lore about that, of course, as well. So they're responsible for everything that's going on here today. We have 4 grandchildren up here that are the delights of our lives, so they're over here somewhat in order. There's Cooper. Cooper, put up your hand. There he is. James. There's James. There is Georgia, who is named after my grandmother, Georgia Harshman. So we're happy to have her name first, grandchild. And Dakota, put up your hand, Dakota. So there's the grandchildren.
And I think the grandchildren wanted to say something special to you.
Oh,
Happy 50th wedding anniversary, Grandma.
thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
Jane
Now-
says what she said.
Now they also told me I couldn't do this too long, so I just wanted to do some groups of introductions here, because I have from way back in first grade through high school some classmates. So put up your hands if you were with me from first grade. We didn't have kindergarten and high school and so on. Then we have also family members from afar that have come to visit, cousins and the like. So we have also neighbors. So neighbors, where are you? We're happy to have you here. It's a great neighborhood and we have great friendships. We've had some folks that we've worked with from church for quite a few years, and we're happy to have our church family with us today. So put up your hand if you're from our church family as well. And then we have some folks that, because I taught high school agriculture, I drifted off into another occupation of helping to loan money to people. So some of my former clients and fellow loan officers are here as well. That was kind of neat to not only work from the high school educator level on to being a financial advisor as well. And I don't think I put anybody out of business, so we're good that way.
Interest come down since.
Yeah, probably so. Then we have some folks that we've developed a different relationship with. My running community, I want you to stand up because my wife thinks we're all idiots. So if you put any miles in with me, why stand up and
Sarah?
I was way behind you though.
and that includes a special sport I've got involved with, biathlon. So Frank and Barb Gavel here from over east, Frank's president of the club, and Van's remaining standing because some of us traveled last week, 2 weeks ago to Ireland and did a half marathon and came home feeling pretty good about how we run together. And any other groups I've missed out on? I'm looking around the room.
You have in-laws here, you have other in-laws.
I have special in-laws too. So Richard and Deanne. Richard's over here filming. Deanne.
Wave your hand, Deanne.
So we're so happy that we have so many good friends that have come to help celebrate today. So I have to. Oh, wait a minute. There's one other that I really have to mention. Mike and Cheryl Swavely, I'll name specifically because I hope Mike appreciates what I'm about to cause myself to endure. Some time ago, Anne bought me a guitar. I don't know why she bought me a guitar.
Because he wanted one.
50 years ago, I thought I should learn to play the guitar, and I learned C and D and G, and there was no internet, so I suddenly was too stupid to go further. I didn't have another lesson. And lo and behold, this guitar showed up, and her comment was, "You have 7 days to take it back." Well, I thought to myself, now I'm going to throw I'm going to throw gasoline on this fire, so I better just go ahead and see if I might enjoy the guitar. And we've started to do some things. We're not ready for stage and screen and all that, but good friend Mike Swavely, who's had a group, he's been quite encouraging, and any mistakes I make today, Mike, you can tell me about that later on.
I keep it to myself, Bill.
So with that, I have to limber up my fingers because I'm scared to death, I want to tell you. Well, more introductions. High school buddy Bill Riggle from Western PA. So here's what I'd like to ask you to do, and Brandon's going to help out as the tabulator, because I'm not going to pay attention to this. He'll tell me later on. I need to get my fingers limbered up and my nerves settled. I would like to go around the room, and I'm not going to be listening. Each of you to tell Brandon how many years you've been married. Because I think when we get done, I'm hopeful that we hit the 1,000-year mark in this room. And if we can hit the 1,000-year mark in this room, just think, that's halfway back to when Jesus Christ was here on this earth. I think we might just be able to hit 1,000 years. So I have to kind of get my fingers loosened up. So Brandon, you're in charge.
Talk amongst yourselves.